Key public-private direction missing in new draft minerals bill, Junior Indaba hears.
This audio is brought to you by Aztec Industries, a global leader in manufacturing equipment for infrastructure, including asphalt production, construction, and material processing, driving innovation and sustainability.
South Africa needs to see far more harnessing of the capital of the private sector, Minerals Council South Africa CEO Mzila Mthenjane told the Junior Indaba on Tuesday. Regarding the absolutely essential but extremely long-awaited South African cadastral system required for exploration, Mthenjane reiterated the Minerals Council's advocacy of enlisting the private sector to assist with the introduction of a cadastre. Now, many other issues have emerged where I think there's a need to bring in the private sector to try and overcome these and to demonstrate a sense of urgency, Mthenjane commented at the event chaired by Bernard Swanepoel. Also watch attached Creamer Media video. Also taking part in the panel discussion and covered by Mining Weekly were ENS Head of Natural Resources and Environment Practice Ntsiki Adonisi, who moderated, Department of Mineral Resources and Energy, DMRE, Director General Jacob Mbele, Counsel for Geoscience CEO Mosa Mabuza, and NSDV Director Lili Nupen. In an update on the introduction of the absolutely essential but extremely long-awaited South African cadastral system, DMPR Deputy Director General Tshaliso Makubela confessed that the department was again at risk of repeating what had taken place on the 1st of October, 2013, which is now a business school case study on how not to roll out a project. Revealed is that the new cadastre is going to be regionally implemented. There won't be one rollout nationwide, Makubela disclosed. We've decided that we'll start with the Western Cape. We're still targeting completion in June 2025, as we had committed, said Makubela, on the grounds that the Western Cape is a manageable jurisdiction with the highest number of operational mines and zero backlog. So, we'll be able to test the efficacy of the system using that jurisdiction. It also doesn't have an appreciable backlog. There's no backlog in Western Cape, Eastern Cape and Free State, so we chose those deliberately. There are also a limited number of appeals that are outstanding in the Western Cape, which will soon be followed by Eastern Cape, and then all the other regions will follow after that. We know that there are regions with complexity that we're going to have to deal with, and we don't want any comebacks, so currently we're doing data migration, particularly for the region where we're going to start validation of that data, making sure that it is audited. Come the 1st of July, you won't be able to use SAMRAD to apply in the Western Cape, you will have to apply using the new cadastral system. One key feature is that we've introduced what is called a grid, and when you click on the grid and you say, I want to apply here, it will either give you a red that means you can't apply there, or it will give you a yellow to say that you need to have some conversations with people because you may be encroaching, and then the green will allow you to submit your application. The size of the grid is going to be a hectare, so you can expand the grid as much as you want, so what I can say is that we're on track to deliver a robust, transparent and efficient cadastral system. We are resolving challenges as they emerge, and when we launch, we'd like to get feedback so that we can make the necessary adjustment, Makubela added. In a video played to provide an overview of what was described as the new South Africa mining licensing system, logging in came with a personal dashboard, and the steps involved in the application process were indicated at the top of what was described as the application page. Drawing attention to South Africa's 40% unemployment rate, Mthenjane pointed out that South Africa's mining industry has the capacity to a huge role in alleviating this country's worrying joblessness by providing the skills that are needed for where mining is heading and not where it is right now. Current mines are saturated, but I'm talking about future mines. The very junior miners that we're talking about today are going to need different skills. The mining industry of the past embarked on a very particular social design to make it succeed, low skills and no skills. But going forward, we now have the opportunity of a different social design opportunity, and for mining to play a role in terms of how it takes South Africa forward. But we need to make sure that we make what we have work efficiently. We need to make sure that government and private sector work together, as we've seen demonstrated in other areas. We've got to harness the power of the private sector, not only in terms of skills and capability, but also in terms of capital, Mthenjane highlighted in describing as interesting the decision of the DMPR to launch both the Critical Minerals Strategy and the Draft Mineral Resources Development Bill on the same day. Even if it's still for proposal, one of the things I constantly look for when a minister speaks is how are they aligning their departmental function to this apex priority of economic growth and job creation. So far, not very many ministers have done that, in my view. I've only heard Minister Kogosientsho Ramokapa do so, and I think we're missing the opportunity from the DMPR with this Draft Mineral Resources Development Bill to be proactive so that we're all working in one direction as government and private sector. Hopefully it change. While engagements with the department had taken place, inputs taken into consideration were not apparent. Although what the Minerals Council had been exposed to in its two engagements was very high level, no access was given to the underlying wording of what it was shown and how it was being amended. As an example, Mthenjane pointed to the oft-repeated public comments by Minister Guide Mantashe that prospecting companies were excluded from the same empowerment requirements for holders of mining rights. We raised this point over and over in our engagements with the department that the amendments must specifically exclude prospecting companies from empowerment requirements. Exploration is the highest risk part of the mineral value chain and imposes an unnecessary burden on prospectors who must sink every rand into drilling and data interpretation. Yet in this draft bill, none of that is included, the Minerals Council CEO pointed out, while committing to continue to review the bill. We'll further engage the department to co-create a regulatory environment that will attract and support investment in exploration, mine development and the sustainability of existing mines to unlock the potential of South Africa's mineral resources for economic growth and job creation, he pledged.